Hey, this is Pete. Today I have for you a 1968 Volkswagen Bug convertible. This is a black plate California car. I've got a clear title for it. It's currently non-opt. It's got a brand new convertible top on it. It's got an older paint job on it. Polished up pretty nice and shiny. Not brand new. It gets a lot of thumbs up and gets a lot of compliments. It's that type of a car. It looks like a Survivor, if you will. It's not a fresh repaint or a restoration or anything like that, but it does have some things that were redone on it recently, such as the convertible top, the interior, the seats, the carpet was redone recently. It looks like it has a new dash pad. The steering wheel looks good, looks original and good. The buttons, the knobs, all this stuff, and the dash look really nice. The door panels look pretty good. So the visors are new. I can see the visors are brand new. I got a nice original rear view mirror. And so anyway, I'm gonna walk around and give you guys a condition report on it and let you know what I see from my end here, since it's pretty hard to tell what a car looks like in person from a couple pictures and a video, and got to be real careful out there. So starting off with the paint and the body, as I said, it's an older paint job. It looks good. It was just polished out. It came out really nice. I mean, I have to say it looks really good in person, but up close in person, you're not looking at a fully restored car here. The fenders look good. Passenger front fender looks good. Looks like all the seals underneath the turn signals are replaced. The fender beading looks relatively good. It looks new. The side trim looks good. The door, passenger door, the front right corner, straight. There's no dents in it. There's no rust in the corners there. The right rear fender looks good. And as I said, the seals underneath the signals all look pretty good. It looks like we're redone it recently. It's got the original Hella turn signal covers, lenses, that is. The rear deck lid looks good. The rear skirt here, it's got this little stress crack right here. I don't know how that happened, but it has a little stress crack right there, a couple little stress cracks right there. The rear bumper cover, it's probably, I don't know if it's a replacement one, but it's got a little bit of rust on the inside there. But the chrome looks decent, definitely polished out, pretty nice. The left rear quarter looks good. You've got some nicks, some little nicks and things. I mean, it's not a perfect paint job. I'm just stressing that. I don't want anybody to think they're getting a brand new car. It looks pretty nice. If you walk around and look closely, you'll find some little nicks here and there. Definitely this side of the car, the yellow looks a little bit more faded than the other side of the car. So maybe it was parked for a long time and the sun was hitting this side of the car. I can't be sure because I haven't owned it that long. Little scratch right there. You've got a chip in the paint is flaking there. It was touched up on the bottom of the quarter of the fender, the front left fender. Little nick. Headlight bezels look pretty good on both sides. VW emblem looks good. The hood looks good. I can see some signs of maroon paint, which I believe to be the original color. Windshield looks good. Windshield looks real nice. The seal, definitely a brand new seal, and the chrome trim looks good. The vent wing windows open and close like they're supposed to. All the locks and latches seem to work just fine. It has new window scrapers, I can see. Somebody had put on before I owned it, on front and rear, and on the inside as well. The window scrapers were all replaced on both sides. And those are not cheap, to buy these little pieces of chrome with the rubber attached to it, and then to install it, it's not fun. Unless you like to do it. In that case, it's a great time. So the running boards look good. They're older. Got the Karman logo in very nice shape. Got a little nick right there. So there it is. I mean, the paint is probably paint and body. I mean, it's a good looking Survivor type car. However, it's not a show car. So if that's what you're after, you know, you gotta try to find one of those and maybe spend a little bit more money. But you know, this is a car that you take to the grocery store and take to the beach or to the mountains or whatever. I don't know what you do with it, but it's not a show car. A little spot of rust right there in the quarter. The wheels look nice. They were painted to match the car. They look good. You've got 2 metric radials here that look like brand new, and the other tires look brand new as well. They don't match, but the tread looks like brand new. Like brand new tread. So 2 metric radials, brand new, and then 2 other, you've got a Nexen, I think, and a Classic brand tire, and the tread looks brand new. And anyway, so that I believe the previous owner refreshed the brakes in the car. Anyway, we'll talk about mechanical next. But that's the paint and the body. So actually, we'll talk about the interior next. The interior, like I said, somebody had redone this before I owned the car. The seats definitely were redone. The padding inside the seats is real nice. The seats are comfortable. This is the original basket weave style. They fold forward. You can see the back of the seats were redone. And it looked like it was they did a pretty good job. It wasn't an amateur job or anything like that. It looks good. The passenger side looks good as well. It's got a small cut down there. I don't know what happened, if somebody was working on it. I doubt that somebody sat in it and wore it out, but because they look really fresh. And again, the padding is nice. It's got a nice set of seat belts all around, and all four positions, driver's, passenger, and the rear. And you can see the rear seat is in nice condition. This was definitely redone with the front seats. The door panels were all replaced. You can see the ashtrays are all intact, or both intact, or that one is. Looks good. The door panels in the front, somebody had refreshed those as well. They look really nice. They're not all warped out or anything like that. The seals in the doors look okay. I mean, they're not new. They're obviously not new, but they're there. As I said, the window scrapers, all this rubber looks really nice. Somebody redid that. The vent wing over here, in good shape. Opens and closes. The chrome trim looks relatively good. California car. Looks pretty nice. And the window pillar seal, definitely that somebody redid these seals and things. They also put in a new carpet kit, a couple years old. I don't know how old it is, but it looks good. It's a nice quality carpet kit. It's got a good padding on it, and pretty nice looking. It's got a fire extinguisher there. Got a Hurst shifter, trigger shifter. The e-brake works good, and it's got a nice cover there for the e-brake, so that works good. And the dash pad, definitely they replaced that as well. You can see that's pretty nice. Glove box painted to match. All the headlights switches look good. Definitely somebody had replaced those. You can see how nice the paint is. It looks really nice. Couple things it needs. The horn does not work here. The gas gauge is in the trunk. I've got it separate. So, those things need to be dealt with here. You've got it looks like a new seal here, and here are newer. These are a little bit dry compared to the other ones. In the glove box, you've got the mirror for the side for the drivers. It just needs to be screwed on here. It looks like it can be done. You got a couple extra bulbs, some fuses. The looks like this glove box here was replaced. This latch for the trunk is not attached, so possibly needs a new cable going to the latch, and I have the latch and all the pieces for that come with it. The visors definitely redone, new visors. Did I say that already? I don't know. But visors look nice. The dome lamp here works on the rear view mirror. So, the trunk compartment looks pretty decent. Somebody painted it. The front end right here looks clean. I don't see any signs of major rebuild or any kind of hammering or anything in the front. It's dirty, but looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, like I said, the release for the down here, looks like the cable's here, but it needs to be put back together properly. So there's a couple things to do like that. Like I said, the gas gauge is not hooked up. Actually, I have it in a box at my house. So it's got a nice spare tire on it. Looks like a brand new spare tire. Put that back in there. Okay. So the hood does not latch with the release in the glove box, so it does not fly open or anything. So as long as you don't put anything in it, I guess there's not too much to worry about. So this engine, it actually starts up every time, and it runs good. I've driven the car around. It has some oil leaks. It could use some TLC, I would say. It looks like the original engine, if I had to guess. And I think the previous owner had rebuilt the carburetor. He told me it's got an extra belt. It comes with an extra belt. Looks like it's got a brand new fuel filter. It's got what looks like a new set of plugs, but I don't think it needs a set of plugs. It runs pretty good. I think the heads are a bit loose. It definitely needs to be looked at. I mean, I definitely would, have a mechanic take a close look at it. But it does start, run, and drive. I will say that, which I will demonstrate right now. It's got a brand new battery, which I just put in when I got the car. Okay, so here we are. And like I said, I mean, the engine starts right up every time I go to drive it. It always starts right up, and it sounds like the heads are a bit loose. And it's definitely got some oil leaks. It's definitely got some oil leaks under there. So it needs some TLC. Don't expect to drive it through the Rocky Mountains tomorrow. But that's that. And one thing I do want to mention, the rear floor pans need some TLC. The floor pan on the right rear was replaced, just patched, and the driver's side one has some spots on it where it needs to be dealt with. You can see right there, patched, and there's some rust right here on the back half, just the back part of this rail here. Front looks good all the way up, and the other side looks good, except when you get back here again, there's some rot back there. So expect to do a little work here with this car. The radio
Restaurant Week has over 400 participating restaurants offering
works.
specially priced menus.
It's got a just a cassette, super basic cassette, which is kind of rare now. All the regulators, with exception of the passenger, even the passenger rear works. All the regulators roll up and down. This one as well. You just want to be really careful with these things. They're so old now. I don't want to break anything. You gotta kind of help it stay on line. This right rear one, the handle part right there is stripped off. The part where the handle actually grabs onto the regulator is the teeth are stripped off. It does go up and down like all the other ones, but that one's going to need some TLC. So let's take a quick ride here. A slow ride. Let's see what happens. Suspension feels pretty good. Definitely the transmission's in good shape. There's no grinding or slipping or any issues with the tranny. It feels real good. Steering feels decent. Some of the vent lines in the fuel system need to be changed out. Definitely some of the vent lines are starting to weep a little bit. They're fabric vent lines and they get old, and they need to be refreshed. So you can smell some when you fill up the tank. You can smell some fuel, a little bit of fuel. What else? I mean, overall, the car looks good. It does run good. I'm in it and driving it. It doesn't stall. It's not one of those engines that stalls out every second. It starts right up. It does make a few drops when you park it. The heads seem a bit loose. So maybe they could be torqued, or you could put new heads on it. The engine itself seems to run okay, but it's just, maybe some valve cover gaskets, some simple things like that, and some TLC mechanically. Just, be prepared. It's a car that, it's a minor project for somebody. So depending on how far you want to take it, you can just keep it the way it is and refresh a few things mechanically, and I think you'd be doing pretty good. Headlights work. Get the headlights on. So yeah, the horn does not work. Speedometer does work, I believe. Comes with 2 keys right here. The ignition system's all in good shape. Okay, so we'll get going here. One-handed shifting. Yep, speedometer's working good. Shows 95,000 miles, which could very well be original, but I don't have any proof of that. So we're in 3rd gear right now, going into 4th gear. Steering wheel is relatively smooth. It's not like bumping around too bad. So I'm going 50 right now. Usually get the shakes about that point. The brake pedal is nice and high, so that leads me to believe that the previous owner had done some brake work on it. I believe he did. I can't remember what he told me, but the brakes work really nice. And that's pretty much it for the car. It's a nice car. Could use a bit more TLC, but you know, overall, cute little car. Gets a lot of thumbs up. And this is the second time I took this video, and you know, I don't remember if I was showing the top, but you know, the convertible top, the first thing I had to do to this car, I had to replace the basically every part inside of this thing, including the pad, the top, the seal. So I'm pretty proud of the top, I guess. Headliner's new. The little the hoop that goes around the rear window, new. The strap, the pad, all that stuff. So that's it. If you have any questions, give me a call. Thank you.